time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Buck Baits,
Better the Hunt,
Rebel 6 Rubs and Seasonings,
Easy Cut,
Limb Walker Game Calls,
Sunrise Archery,
Total Peep,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Packer Max,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Scent Blocker,
Scent Lock,
Copper John,
and Stanislawski Release Aids. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal podcast. Your buddy and host Mike Adams sitting in the cabin tonight with Dan DeFall on a warm Sunday afternoon. What's going on, my man?
You know what? It was warm, but after that thunderstorm went through, it's kind of cooled down. It is actually kind of nice out.
It is, yeah, it is, absolutely. So before we get started, though, we want to take care of some quick business. We want to help the people who help us. And one of those people is Hunter's Blend Coffee. We drink it here on the Up North Journal, and if we've got it here with us tonight, and if you use the UNJ promo code right here below my finger, you can save 10% on your order. Go over to huntersblendcoffee.com. But that's not all.
That is not all.
Go over to Buck Baits. Danny, tell them what they can do there.
That's right. If you go over to Buck Baits, go to buckbaits.com, and you can get 20% off your order when you use the promo code Up North Journal when you check out. With hunting season coming up, new things are coming on. Go over there, check out the lineup, and help us out. And perfect day to barbecue.
Absolutely.
And nothing better than going to rebel6rubs.com, checking out the rubs over there. We've had them, we use them. Use the promo code North Journal. You'll get 20% off your order when you check out over there.
Absolutely. So, all right, well, let's just get to it. Give a quick shout-out. Kelly DeFall's watching. Eric Dabbs is with us. Kim Morrow's watching. Hey, Kim. Tammy Delka's watching. What is going on, Kim and Tammy? Billy Hoffman is in the house tonight. We got a lot of people, so let's just get with this show tonight. As Danny told you in the teaser earlier, we have got none other than Brandon Palanuik from Yamaha Pro Fisherman is on the water tonight. Brandon, what's going on, my man?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. This is the first show we've ever had somebody live on the water that's on with us, so that's pretty cool. Good to see you out there. So
glad I could be the first. It's we got pretty lucky. The storm's kind of cleared out. It's opened up. It's just kind of partly cloudy now, and the wind is laid down, so I'm not getting splashed in the face every 5 seconds. It's pretty nice.
Right. Well, we don't want to give too much information away. We've got the title underneath your box there. It says UNJ Boat Dock, the Up North Journal Boat Dock. But you're not at the dock. You're actually on the water, but you're on Lake St. Clair. Tell everybody what you're doing out there and why you're out there right now.
So we have got the Bassmaster Elite Series event here this week. Today is our first official day of practice,
okay,
which is why you guys are catching me on the water, pretty much going daylight to dark. And just out here idling around, marking some places, looking for some fish, trying to figure out how to win that $100,000 this week.
$100,000.
$100,000
for fishing.
That would not be a bad check. At the weigh-in is the tournament starts Thursday and the weigh-in is Saturday afternoon, correct?
Yeah, so it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Guys will start checking in about 3 o'clock will be the first flight, and there'll be 4 flights of guys coming in, and they are going to have the weigh-in stage facing out toward the water up there in Metro Park. So if people want to come by boat, they can. Unfortunately, we've got to follow all the COVID-19 social distancing and everything, and we're actually on a professional sports exemption, so we've got to have the weigh-in area closed off. Unlike normal, where we can talk with the fans and shake hands and stuff. But they are letting people come and watch by water and at least interact from a distance.
Get in the kayak and go out there.
Hey, we got kayaks. You want to go out there and float around, Danny?
Exactly.
I'm not even going to go into that, but that is awesome. You know what? Being the pro fisherman that you are, you won a couple weeks ago reading up on your little bio, man, you've been wanting to be a pro fisherman for a long time. How does something like this come about to get put into your senses that this is what you want to do in life?
Well, I grew up in like an outdoors family. My mom always took me hunting and fishing, and just we were always outside growing up in northern Idaho, and we're really known for our trout fishing. We're not known for bass fishing. But I was fortunate that a family friend of ours, one of my mom's best friends, actually got married to a guy that fished local tournaments, and he had a Skeeter Yamaha. My mom got it set up for him to take me out. He took me out one day, and ever since then, I've pretty much been obsessed with it. Can't live or breathe without fishing. And so here we are.
I tell you what, the outdoors, man, just does something for the soul. It gets you. It's good stuff. Can't get enough of it.
It is. It puts a lot of things into perspective. And
amen to that.
We're fortunate we get to do that. Whether it's hunting or fishing, just being outside. Yeah, I mean, it is. Just look at like how beautiful it is out here,
right?
Like St. Clair. I mean, this is what I get to do for a living, and this morning when the waves and everything are splashing you in the face, it doesn't look so pretty, but then you get this, and it's worth every second of it.
Absolutely.
And that's awesome. One of our viewers is telling you should be in the North Channel. So
there's an inside tip for you.
There's a tip. Be in the North Channel. But that's the great thing. Like you said, this morning you were facing thunderstorms, maybe getting out on the water, and now, like you said, the skies opened up a little bit, nice, calm down, clear, and you're out doing exactly what you love. Going back to something like that when you were younger, being instilled, to bring it full circle now to last 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or last week when you won that tournament. And there's that picture that you had on Facebook of you walking. I'm assuming you were walking with a trophy. You must have stopped and you were just totally exhausted and you were bent over. I mean, that's what it's come now as a professional fisherman, that it takes that much out of you to do this.
Yeah, that was 14 days straight fishing for me because we had a Elite Series event the week before. And I made the top 10 cut there, so I fished all of practice, all 4 days of the tournament, drove that night to Champlain and started practice first thing in the morning. And so by the end of Champlain, I had been grinding for 14 days straight. And a lot of people be like, oh, how hard is it to fish for 14 days straight? But when you're up at 4 a.m., go to sleep at 11, you do that 14 days in a row, and we get out there on those big bodies of water like that, and sometimes you're in 5-6 foot swells. It's exhausting.
Absolutely.
And, that I've got a guy that travels with me, and we film every single tournament, put it up on YouTube as a series. And so he was there with his camera, and he happened to capture that really cool moment of me. I set the trophy down, and I was just leaned over it, thankful and slightly exhausted.
Slightly, to say the least. One question that we do have from one of our listeners is, who's your professional fishing hero?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I would say probably Rick Clund. He's always had a very unique approach, very Zen-like approach to the sport. And I've always liked that. He's always kind of done things a little bit different. And then he's actually fishing this event as well. So he's been fishing professionally longer than I've been alive. And it's because he just loves it. And the more that I've got to compete against him, the more that I grow a fan of it. He comes up, he congratulates you when you win. I mean, just all those little things that not only is he a phenomenal fisherman, best we've ever had, but he is also a very good human being.
Well, that says a lot. You're growing up, You see somebody that you admire, and you start to look and follow his approach to everything. And now, in turn, you're fishing against him, which makes it even more cool to the point that, wow, not that he's old, but like you said, he's been fishing longer than you've been alive. But
no, he's pretty old. He's like 73 or 74.
Okay, you can call him old.
That's pretty old.
You're out on the water with him, so you can call him old. Okay, I am not going there.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
But yeah, so that's awesome. And now you're out there, you're doing what you love, and you're fishing. You got a great day today, obviously, with the weather breaking. How's the pre-fishing looking without giving away anything? Is it looking good? Is it going to be? You think it's going to be a tough with a cool? I think it's supposed to be a cool week this week.
St. Clair's a real tricky fishery when it comes to smallmouth fisheries because it really lacks contours. So I can actually flip this around. At least I thought I could flip it around. Nope, I just took a picture. That is not what I wanted to do. I just took a screenshot. Let me hit this. So here's I just marked a waypoint right there. But this is actually a lot of contours for St. Clair. Usually in most of the lake, there's not a lot of contours. But I'm just idling around. I'm looking. You can see I've got like grass patches here. And it's kind of featureless. And the fish use the grass kind of as their highways versus a lot of other places where they use drops and rock and things like that. So it's different. I've always done well on smallmouth, but this is the one lake that I struggle with the most when it comes to smallmouth fishing. Just because of that lack of contours, and it seems like they roam a lot. But with that, it also means that you can stumble upon them. So it's all just about covering water. This is our first day of practice. I haven't been here since 2017. And the grass changes every year and things like that. So for me, it's really just kind of getting dialed in, figuring out what depth zone those smallmouth want to be in. There are largemouth here too, but you can cash a check with them, but you're just not going to win with largemouth. There's too many big smallmouth in this place.
Yeah, and plus you're also looking at what they're thinking about biting on. What kind of bait you're going to need to throw at them, or where you're going to end up being. Like you said,
Yep.
When we talked, you made a boat ride to get to where you're at now. So you might have to go all the way up the other way north to get where you're at to find, and you're going to find that out here in the next few days of practice.
Yeah, we've got a lot of water to fish. I'm probably about 15 miles from where I launched this morning, but you can really run. Well, we've got all of the U.S. side of Lake Huron open, so you can run all the way to Mackinac Bridge if you want, but I don't think you're going to make it there in 8 hours. So
no.
There's plenty of water to look at, but it's just trying to use your time wisely. Figure it out during practice so you at least have a starting point, and then things always change. They always move depending on different weather conditions, different wind directions. They'll set up differently, and so it's all just about getting a good base, getting a good idea of what's going on, and then being able to adapt and adjust with them.
Well, I'll tell you what, you talk about running across the lake and running all the way to Mackinac. I know those Yamaha motors can definitely get you there. You might have to make a fuel stop somewhere along the way. But I tell you, let's take a break real quick. We're going to step outside, take our first break. We come back. We want to talk a little bit about what you're running on there on the boat and why it means so much to you.
Okay.
All right. Y'all hang real tight. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back. Second segment of the show. We're not going to keep him on here real long because he is busy today, but he's graciously carved out 30 minutes for us here, so this will be the last segment. But we want to talk a little bit about the Yamaha motor you're running on there. You know, we saw some pictures on Facebook. You used to run the VMAX, but you run the SHO now. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Why did you make that switch over? And what's the difference between those two, and what's it done for you?
So one thing that Yamaha's always had is reliability, whether it was in their two-stroke motors or their four-stroke motors. But then, several years ago, they just went all to four-stroke. As far as like EPA and emissions and all of that, they had the technology to make this four-stroke perform or outperform a two-stroke. And for a long time, you couldn't do that. And once they got that technology, then it was a no-brainer because you're not having to pack around a bunch of oil and add oil and mix it and all of that. And so for me, it was an easy decision. And I've been running not this exact same motor, but the Yamaha 250 SHO since 2010. And I've had zero problems, knock on wood, zero issues in 10 years. And we put them to the test. And, no pun intended, but that thing always has my back behind me.
Right.
And that's what you have to have out here because there are times that we make long runs. Several years ago, I was making a 125-mile one-way trip. So I was running 250 miles a day across Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence River. And to do things like that, you have to have something that you can rely on, something that you have confidence in. And that's why I run that motor, is just because it's a peace of mind. I know when I get out here, I don't even second guess making a run somewhere. I go. I think that's where the fish are, and that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah, reliability is huge in this game, and that's probably something that maybe people who don't follow the circuit closely really understand how much traveling you guys do. And along with that, too, it has to be fuel mileage as well. I mean, there's not a gas station in the middle of the lake. Am I right?
No, they're not. They're not easy to come by. So fuel efficiency is huge, as well as top end speed, because typically we've only got 8 hours in a day to fish, and so you want to be efficient with your time, but also kind of that low end hole shot and mid range punch. That's really important, especially when we get on big bodies of water like Lake Clair and Erie and Huron, because you get in those big waves, you need to be able to control the boat, you need to be able to handle it well, and that's where that really comes into play, right? Is the reliability, but then also being able to have the power to get up over those big swells, be able to control, and you need to be able to do it quickly. And so that's just kind of some of the key features that I use, or for me, that bring that peace of mind on a daily basis.
And that's one of the things, like you said, this is your job. This is what you do. You need that reliability, especially if you got to make those 125-mile trips one way. You got to basically get to work.
Yes, exactly. You got to be able to get there, and you got to be able to get back safely. We've all got families and stuff, and so it's important to be able to get back safely as well. And you have to have that. And the second that you don't go somewhere because of your equipment is the second that you're taking yourself out of the competition, and you don't want to be doing that.
No, you don't want to be taking yourself out of the competition because of something you're not reliable on.
No, and time is potentially money in the bank. It's time on the water.
100%. Yeah, because you never know which cast is going to be that winning fish. Sometimes just one cast can clue you in, or it can be, one big one that puts you over the top and can be the difference maker between first and second place a lot of times.
Talking about the fuel efficiency, we've got somebody here, Tammy says that they always carry a spare tank on their boat for fuel. Is that even allowed in your in the tournament? You probably not. I mean, there's got to be some pretty tight regulations on what you guys can run and can't run. Am I right?
Yeah, we're not allowed to carry spare fuel. We can buy it on the water from a marina during our events, but we're not allowed to carry spare fuel. This boat will hold about 48 gallons of fuel, a little bit over 48 gallons of fuel. So I can go a long ways on that. But there are times that we're making super long runs and you do need to fuel up. You just can't do it by stashing gas cans somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
One of the questions we do have, they're asking, what is your opinion of what the perfect water temperature would be for catching big fish consistently?
So when we're talking bass specifically, even though they're a warm water species, the largest fish still prefer cooler water temperatures. And so generally in the springtime or late in the fall is when you're going to catch the biggest ones consistently. And in the springtime, a lot of the bigger fish, they're moving up, they're getting ready to spawn. And so I really like kind of that 55 to 65 degree water temperature. That seems like when those biggest fish are the most active and accessible. And but you can catch a big one any day of the week. They don't always follow the rule book.
Right.
No.
Last time I checked, the fish can't read.
Right. What's the water temperature you're looking at right now?
So it's at actually almost 77 degrees,
wow,
which is pretty warm for out here.
And that water heats up pretty quick there. That's a pretty shallow body of water too, isn't it?
Yeah, compared to a lot of the rest of the Great Lakes, this one heats up really quick because I think the average depth is only like maybe 20 foot.
It's not deep until you get to the channels. That's when they get deep.
Yeah, the channel's deep, and then outside of that, it's just one great big giant flat.
Right, exactly. So, but that's awesome. You're with the Yamaha Pro Team, and you're carrying that Yamaha. It's got your back, literally.
Yeah, right.
And you choose to run with it and make sure you get it in reliability. We've talked with the other three gentlemen this year about it, and they all have the same message: reliability and
fuel efficiency,
power. It's almost like on demand, right? So
yeah.
If you were going to talk to, if somebody were to ask you, and I'm talking just like the average guy who's got a boat and he wants to put a motor on the back for a fishing boat, doesn't matter what size, and he's not going to be out on big water, but some of the inland lakes, and he says, why should I buy a Yamaha? What would you tell him?
Because you're going to get what you pay for. You're going to get your money's worth out of it, and it's going to last you a long time. Right? So if someone's going to go out there and spend their hard-earned money that they've worked for, you want to buy the best thing out there, the thing that's going to get you out there, the thing that's going to get you back. And a guy that's just fishing on the weekends, the last thing that he wants to do is be messing with a motor that's broke down all the time.
Doesn't want to be towed in.
Yeah, you don't want to go out to the lake and try to start it and not start. So, that's why I push people to run a Yamaha. It doesn't matter if it's a little 9.9 kicker tiller motor or if it's like one of their big 425 XTO offshore motors. Whatever it is, Yamaha takes the time to test them and build them right to last you.
Exactly.
As long as you take care, as long as you do the maintenance on them, it's just going to keep running and running and running and running. That's why one of their biggest messages is maintenance matters.
Right.
Because, it's no different than changing the oil in your car and everything. And that's how you get to thousands and thousands of hours on these outboards is by taking care of them and doing the maintenance that you need to do on them.
Well, I got to imagine, too, looking at a motor versus the boat, you spend the money on the boat. They're a lot of money. No matter what kind of boat you buy, that's a lot of money. If you're going to spend that money on a boat, you got to have something that's going to be reliable to run it. And I equate it, to like when you buy a good deer rifle. if you're going to buy a good rifle, you're going to want to put good optics on it. If you can't see to shoot, there's no sense in buying the rifle. So,
Yep.
So if you're going to spend the money on the boat, put a good motor on it. I mean,
100%.
So,
another question, we asked you what you'd say about a motor. What would you say is the most important safety tip you could share with a fisherman around boat safety? What would be the number one boat safety tip you'd give?
Wear your life jacket.
Right.
Always wear your life jacket and attach your kill switch. Okay, it doesn't do you any good. I mean, wearing your life jacket, do that, but attaching your kill switch is something that a lot of people forget too, because if you get thrown overboard, you want that kill switch to pop and you want it to kill the motor.
Absolutely.
And so it's super important to wear your life jacket and make sure that kill switch is attached, and that's going to help save your life in case something goes wrong. And you just never know. You never know when something's going to happen. You know, you could hit a submerged log that's floating that you don't see, that's just barely under the water or something like that. And so that's the biggest thing you can do. And then just be aware on the water. I see a lot of people are just driving around. They're not paying attention. And that's how people get in accidents. And so it's just being aware and being smart on the water.
Yeah, a few years back, there's a YouTube video out there of those. I think they were the college fisherman team. They were heading back in, and something broke on the boat, and they all went flying, and the boat
took off.
And it's just one of those things. But awesome. Remember to wear your life jacket, and remember to attach the kill switch. Two great tips.
And go get a Yamaha motor.
Okay, so we're getting towards the end of having you on. So there's a couple of questions we're going to talk about real fast. There has nothing to do, well, it might maybe with fishing, but we got to know, because we ask all our interviewees these questions. But you're on the water, or you're heading to the water, you're trailering that boat, or are you listening to what kind of music are you listening to? Are you listening to a podcast? Are you listening to music? What's getting you all pumped up?
I drive about 40,000 miles a year, so I listen to everything. I listen to all different types of genre, country, rock, rap, you name it. I listen to podcasts. I can't just listen to one thing, because I'll listen to the whole entire genre in a year. So I got to switch it up. I got to mix it up. Just kind of depends on my mood. So I've got a giant wide variety of different playlists that I listen to.
All right. So you're driving along, or you're driving along on the boat. What's your go-to snack? If you got one on the boat, or you got one in your truck, you're listening to music, what's your go-to snack?
It's not a banana, is it? No bananas in the boat?
No, but I eat bananas on the boat. I love bananas.
Okay, all right.
Help keep you from cramping up. I'm not superstitious. I would say that's a good question. I really like Epic bars, like the Epic Bison bars.
Gotcha.
All right.
Those are really good.
There you go. Okay, and you invited Dan and Mike over to have a dinner. What would be the dinner that you're going to make us, whether it be a fish dinner, a venison dinner, or what's your go-to meal that you would make for us?
It'd probably be elk steaks.
Oh, yeah.
We're in.
That's right.
When's dinner?
Yeah.
How do you make it?
Usually I put it on the Traeger, and I'll cook them. I'll just smoke them on like 180 or 225, depending on how much time I have.
Nice.
And get them to about 125 degrees, and then I'll take them off, and I'll get a cast iron skillet, super hot, like it's hot, and then put a little bit of butter in there, sear those babies up, just about 30 seconds on each side, hit it to about 132 degrees, pull them off, let them rest, and it'll be about 135, nice medium rare, ready to go.
Man, that sounds good.
I'll be there.
I hate this question. Every week we do this because I'm always hungry afterwards.
Right, exactly.
we got to cancel that question from now on.
All right, the last question is, we're all, okay, so we're sitting around, we had the dinner, we're sitting around now. There's a story you're going to tell us. What story comes to mind that from your childhood, as you're getting older? What's the go-to story that you're going to tell Mike and Dan?
dude. Good question. I don't know. I think it would just depend on like what our conversation was. I'm not gonna just like throw some random story out there that didn't have to do with our conversation, but
well, now you're thinking too much.
Most likely, it would be something to do with hunting or fishing.
Because you are a hunter as well.
Oh yeah, love big game hunting. Backcountry, multi-day trips in the backcountry. That's my favorite type of hunting.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what, we've had you for 30 minutes. We're going to let you get back to doing your pre-fishing. But I tell you what, since you're a big game hunter, we'll try to get you on towards the end of the year to see if you did get out into any hunting and to find out how you did the rest of the tournament trail. Because everything's, like you said, backed up because of COVID here. So you've got a long ways to go. But we definitely want to thank you for coming on for the half hour.
Well, before we let you go, where can people find the videos? You said you got a cameraman with you. Where can they find the videos? Besides watching you on the tournament trail, I know the Bassmaster Elite Series is on cable networks as well.
Yeah, so we've got a full YouTube channel. Actually, probably launching the one from the tournament that I won on Lake Champlain a couple weeks ago. That one should launch tomorrow.
Okay.
So if people want to come join, watch that.
Watch a great comeback.
It'll be on BMP Fishing is my YouTube channel. You can also follow all the social platforms. The easiest way to do it is just go to my website, bmpfishing.com, and then you can find the links to all the social platforms and YouTube and T-shirts and hats and all that fun stuff.
Okay, and follow you on Facebook as well, right?
Oh, yeah, I've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. They're all just at Brandon Palanuik.
All right.
All my social handles.
Well, I tell you what, man, we really appreciate you taking a half hour out. Get out there, slay them things this weekend, and good luck to you, man. Put some money in the bank, man, and put some fish in the creel there for us.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again, man.
See you guys.
All right, take care.
Take it easy.
Well, guys and gals, we're going to step outside. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back. Maybe the last segment of the show. If not, it'll be next to last. So we'll see how long we go here. But Danny said he was on a hunting adventure. The only thing the only thing that's legal to hunt right now is nuisance predators, which are like raccoons and
this
coyotes.
is much better.
Okay. Well, I got to know. What did you go hunt?
So it all started out when I had Callie. They came over during the week, and she said that she went underneath the tree and almost hit a wasp nest right in the face.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what? And she says, it's huge. So it's probably about the size of a volleyball.
Okay.
And it was on the lowest branch. And to tell you the truth, I don't know how I missed it cutting the grass.
Right.
I
wondering you get lit up.
I literally walked out there and I had to have Gabby. I go, where's it at? I still can't see it. And she literally, it was from me to the monitor away.
Wow.
Before she pointed it out. And then I started seeing everything. So it was like, well, that ain't going to happen because I can't cut the grass now because the vibrations of the motor and everything. And these were paper wasps and those aren't the greatest.
Oh, no, they'll light you up.
So Dan says, you know what? Dan's going hunting.
Did you get stung?
No, because
Were you successful in your hunt?
Absolutely, it was great. I have video of it.
And why aren't we playing it right now?
Because I didn't know we were gonna, or else I would have uploaded it to you. But
next week, folks. Next week we're gonna have this on. I've got to see this.
And it was awesome. First thing you got to do with wasp. Oh, squirrel season is in Mark Coleman. You're in Indiana. Squirrel season is in Indiana. I think Mark Coleman's in.
Where you at? What state are you in, Mark?
I think he's in Indiana. Said.
Matter of fact, Whirlybird from
Indiana. Mark Coleman.
Okay,
Indiana.
Whirlybird from Buck Baits put out a post this week that this weekend, which is now, that deer season has started in South Carolina. The first state to open for deer season.
Really?
Yep, archery season's open.
Bucks and velvet.
There you go.
Sweet.
Man, I wouldn't want to hunt in this kind of weather. It's too hot.
I saw antelope has started.
Okay.
Somebody posted a picture. They were hunting in their sandals, and they only had to deal with one rattlesnake in the blind.
Oh, only one. That's nice.
I know, right? It's like, okay.
Well, today is what, 16th?
August 16th.
So we've got 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. Actually, tomorrow will be the opening day of early goose season here in Michigan. That'd be our first season to open.
Right, exactly. So
get back to the wasp.
Yeah, get back to the wasp. Man, I tell you what, I was eyeing them, and yeah, they're pretty active. So I said, all right, we're going to do a little night hunting. And I went out there about 8:30. They weren't ready yet. They weren't ready to be hunted. I went over, checked them out, and they were still
buzzing.
So I waited till 9 o'clock. I said, I got to have some good light for the video. Because
I tell you what. Let's go ahead. Make sure we get our last break in. We'll save the rest of the time we got for the show. But we're going to save this wasp hunt until we come back. We're going to step outside, take our next break. We'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back. Last segment of the show. So, okay, we left everybody hanging. You got the right lighting. You got the camera rolling.
I did.
What happened?
And so I had a plan. I got the barbecue. I got a charcoal barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it underneath the nest.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great, if anybody, easy cuts. This is how I did it, and I used easy cut.
Did you use the long loppers?
No, I used the hand shears.
Okay, so you got back up next to the tree.
Right. So the first thing I did is grab 2 cans of wasp spray.
Okay.
And I went at them. Right, left, all the way around the nest.
Okay.
I was gunning them down left and right. So then I cut the branch. Well, the branch missed the barbecue and ended up on the ground. So I grabbed the branch, I threw it in the barbecue. So then I take a torch and I try to light it up.
Right.
The last time I did this, which was a while ago.
Hang on, let me look.
No, they're there.
You got eyebrows.
Yeah, they're there. The wasp spray, I mean, it was flammable. This stuff wasn't flammable. I'm like, oh my God. And this nest is humming.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this nest is humming. I'm like, this ain't good. I need something flammable, and I need it now. So I ran into the garage. I got my favorite gasoline in a rag.
Oh,
and
no.
I threw it on there, and I lit that up. And then I found a can of starting fluid.
You see why I have to keep this guy under control, guys and gals, is because stuff like this. So let's step back a little bit. You do have video of all of this.
I got video of this.
All of it?
All of it.
We're playing it next week. I got to see this. This is good stuff. All right, so evidently...
see, my brother found out that skunk poop is really bad. Got rid of a hiding spot for the white skunk. My outdoor adventure. See? But anyways, so that was my hunting adventure for the week.
Okay, all right.
And it was a pretty big nest, and I tell you what, it was a kill.
All right, well, good.
It was a multi-kill.
I'm
it
glad.
was awesome. I tell you what, filleted them.
I'm glad you got him.
Well, I am too, because to tell you the truth, like I said, I don't know how I missed this cutting the grass
Before.
I have no idea, because I know that
Yeah, you were just in the zone, riding on the mower or whatever, pushing mowing, whatever you do, and
I must have just been ducking at the right time, and I just missed it. And obviously, the difference between them and ground bees will attack you.
Yeah.
That's how I usually get off.
Yeah.
But that was my hunting story for the week. It was a success. It was perfectly executed. No sting.
Okay, good deal. I'm glad it all worked out for you.
And you're right, Mark. The easy cuts worked. I used the pink ones so I wouldn't lose them.
Yeah, well, I had mine out today. I was trimming fences today. I did a lot of stuff outside today, and got some yard work done. Actually went and took a run today, got 2 miles in, so I'm kind of getting back into that. It's been really hot lately. And
how's the weight loss going?
Good. I'm down to 58 total now in 2 years. So
excellent.
just keeping working at it.
I'm down 44. The reason I'm bringing this up is because we're getting towards hunting season, and I know Tim Andrews was doing the same thing, but just continue to keep going and get out there, because if we're gonna have to drag a deer or an elk or whatever you're gonna be dragging,
you need to be physically fit. We've been preaching this, heart healthy, staying heart healthy. Danny and I have been doing this for almost 2 years now, and it's paid off huge for both of us. Just getting outside, riding a bike, walking, whatever. Just get outside, get off the couch, and get out in the outdoors. That's the key.
Absolutely. My brother says Dan DeFaw, the bold and the brave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Coleman says, "Holy hillbilly deluxe," laughing so hard at Dan right now. Can't wait to see the video. Thanks. Tammy Delk, can't wait to see the video. Mountain men used to use paper wasp nests to pack their muzzle loaders.
Yeah.
When would we do a reenactment of this? Oh, okay, he does that.
He does that.
Okay,
nice.
I got that. But, keep it up. I'm down 44 pounds. But like I said, we talked about this just before we went on. It's, probably one of the best shapes of our lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, I haven't felt this good since I've been in probably my 20s. So.
And one of the best parts is, I was thinking about this as I was walking, because I actually walked the morning. We really like the gym. We're missing the gym.
Right.
But, it's one of those things we're doing without it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we're getting by. We're making do and still making progress. So that's the good thing about it. I want to give a quick shout out too. We interviewed Donnie Vincent back at ATA back in January, and we talked about physical fitness and hunting and all that, and the extreme hunts that he does. He just released a video over on his Facebook page. Actually, it's off-site, but there's a link on it. If you go to Donnie Vincent's Facebook page and click on it, it's called The Winds of Adak, and it's about going out to Adak Island in Alaska and hunting caribou out there. I'm telling you what, the cinematography is just unbelievable. It's really nice work, as always, of what those guys do, and it shows his quest going out there and going after caribou on Adak Island. So give that a look if you don't mind. It's free, and most of his stuff you got to pay for to get the video. So it's an opportunity to sit for 58 minutes and watch something that's just
he
fabulous.
Has always done fabulous
work. Yeah.
Eric Dabbs ran into a few hives climbing into tree stands over the years. A nice thing to find at first light.
Right? Yeah, that'll wake you up in the morning.
Tammy Delk used my easy cuts last week. Cuts like a hot knife through butter.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
But yeah, so that was my hunting adventure. Just wanted to relay that because it was great having Brandon on. Totally get that he is out there practicing. I don't know if he said it in the show, but total prize at the end of the week is $100,000.
$100,000. Yeah.
So, yeah, go practice.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's either one fish away or whatever. Mm-hmm. You don't know what the next cast is going to bring them.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap up the podcast and the live stream portion this week, folks. We're going to run a little short this week. It's not that big of a deal. But, hey, Tom Ginsel, thanks for tuning in here. But Mark Holmes says, thanks, guys. Appreciate the show. Stay healthy. Make memories before you become one. Absolutely. That's the key. Get out there.
A statistic.
Get out there and start exercising. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. One step in front of the other and just keep pushing forward. But that's going to do it for us this week, guys and gals. Y'all take care. Go over to our Facebook page. Give us a like. Give us a share, a follow. Go over to our YouTube page, Twitter, Instagram. And if you're over listening on the podcast and you're listening to it on iTunes, drop over there. Give us a review on the podcast. That helps us, helps our sponsors as well.
And if you're watching the video on YouTube, subscribe.
Absolutely. And we're going to be shooting the Land O'Lakes 3D archery shoot in conjunction with Sunrise Sports September 12th weekend?
The 12th, because whatever the weekend was that was supposed to be Woods and Water
has been canceled now.
It's been 12 and 13. We'll be over there for Woods and Water.
No, we won't.
Which has been canceled, so we're going to go to Land O'Lakes and shoot over there.
Right. All right. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all again next week.
This episode was brought to you by
PSE Archery,
Buck Bait,
Better the Hunt,
Rebel 6 Rubs and Seasonings,
Easy Cut,
Lim Walker Game Call,
Sunrise Archery,
Total Peep,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Packer Max,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Scent Blocker,
Scent Lock,
Copper John,
and Stanislawski Release Aids.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.